focus on our women. Most common breast cancer, the risk is 1 in 19, but the Chinese alone, 1 in 14. Okay, remember I told you in USA, 30 years ago it was 1 in 20. Now Malaysia, 1 in 19, about 1 in 20. Over 30 years, it became about 1 in 7, 3, 4. Same thing will happen here. We see the trend, it is the same. 30 years down the road, we'll be talking about 1 in 7 Malaysians having breast cancer. Now the problem with breast cancer is so great. The current medical practice or advice for women who test positive for breast cancer genes, there are 2 breast cancer genes that you can go and check whether you have or not, called BRCA1, BRCA2. If you are positive for both, the current medical advice is to remove your breasts while they're still normal. Yes, because your chances of ending up with cancer are so high. If you want to live, you remove your breast. You keep your breast, the high chance that you get the breast cancer and die. So when the doctors came up with that advice, you know, there was a furor that this is medicine gone mad. All right, it's just like advising someone, why don't you know, to prevent brain tumor, just chop off your head. But this was the real medical advice for those with positive breast cancer genes for both. Remove your breast. But after more than a decade, there were enough cases to make a study to see whether that advice was medically correct or not. All right, forget about the other aspects of that advice. Just a medical advice, was it correct or not? So after a decade, they studied those women who were advised to have both breasts taken off because they tested positive for both, and refused to go for surgery, compared to those who actually went for bilateral mastectomy. And after 10 years of study, they found out that that advice was correct and still is retained. Right? Meaning those who opted to keep their breast, many died. Many got the breast cancer and died. Those who removed their breast did not have the cancer and survived. Right? But that is really medicine gone crazy. Right now I'm saying it because we have not searched enough for ways to prevent the cancer. Right? Those of you who have read my articles know that I am a very, very strong proponent of natural health, especially nutritional health. And whenever things like this come up, I feel vindicated that in my faith that since we are created from the earth, for those of us who believe that we believe in God, that God created us, that the answers to all what we need to our health will come from the earth. And here is one example that vindicates my belief, that from the earth will come the rescue. But it's not enough. Malaysian women have the highest NPC, nasopharyngeal cancer, and mouth cancer in the world. You know, Malaysia, not enough that we have last time the tallest building, even though now it's only the tallest twin tower. We have in Kuala Lumpur, Batu Cave, the biggest Lok Muruga in the world. We want to have the biggest this, so our women also want to be the #1 in NPC cancer and mouth cancer. Do anyone have, can you guess why Malaysian women have the highest NPC mouth cancer in the world? No guess? All right, I did some unofficial studies, yeah? But you can quote me though. Why Malaysian women have the highest, especially mouth cancer in the world? Because they talk too much. Okay, again, lung cancer among Malaysian women also rising due to smoking. Last time, very few Malaysian women smoke. Nowadays, the younger generation especially, if you go to KL, all the Starbucks, and I'm sure here no different probably, more women are smoking than men. Okay, so that's the bad news. Now the good news. The good news is that today, have you ever heard? Miss Annie Eng told us about the magic of Maqui superberry. And why is it magical? Because of the science behind it. Now we know the science behind it. then we know how good it is. Before that, we've heard some tribes having this, some tribes having that. Good, good, good. But only the science would tell us and convince us how good it is. All right? On the way in, a gentleman told me, Dr. Ahmed, last time you wrote that the goji berry is the #1 superfruit. Yes, I wrote about the goji berry. I said, that time I didn't know about this. Yes, this is new to me until Mr. Joseph N contacted me. I never heard of Maqui berry. Never heard. All right? So it's also new to me. And yes, when they said 20,600, I remember goji didn't reach 27,000. Right? Everybody's close. Right? Even goji, there's many, many different types. There's only one specific one, the Ningxia goji, that came close, but it's still #1. This is still #1. Okay? So we must be thankful to Miss Annie for not only bringing to USA, now to Malaysia, but also that we heard this company is the only one that's supplying to the whole world. Is that right, Miss Annie? All right? So you deserve this. All right. So that's Miss Annie Ang as far as Maqui superberry is concerned. All right. She is a lady who brought up this magic to us all. Okay. So to fully benefit from this, let us go through the science of what free radicals are, what antioxidants are. It's easy to talk, but when you need to explain to people, you better know the basics. All right, I'm just going to go through the basics of what antioxidants and free radicals are. For many of you, it may be just a revision, but please bear with me. The fact that we are producing energy produces free radicals in the body. Right? It's a byproduct of normal metabolism. So whenever there is combustion in our body, especially in the cells, there's an organelle, there's a small organ inside the cell, so we call it organelle, called the mitochondria, where the energy is produced. So that's where the oxygen is utilized, and the fuel, that is the food that we eat, is burned to produce energy. So it is there that most of the free radicals are generated. And these free radicals are also called reactive oxygen species, because actually it is in the oxygen atom within the molecule that this mostly happens, where there is a loss of electrons. And this damage is a major contributor to aging and to degenerative diseases of aging, such as cancer, cardiovascular disease, the immune systems, a decline in immune systems, brain dysfunction, and even cataracts.